Heroes are remembered, but legends never die. Somewhere, on a cold Ducati seat in preseason testing, Marc Márquez tightened his gloves and whispered those words beneath his breath. Not as hope, not as motivation, but as warning. A warning to every man on that MotoGP grid. Because the Marc Márquez who entered the 2025 season wasn't the comeback story. He was the story. Not as a ghost of greatness, but as the returning king. Now with the keys to the most dominant machine in the sport. The red Ducati, the bike that broke rivals. And now, it's under the command of the most dangerous man ever to grace this sport. The transformation. You see, 2024 was the transition. Marc left Honda, his legacy, his blood, his brand. He joined Gresini. Not the factory team, not the favorites, just a satellite seat on a year-old bike. And yet, 10 podiums, 3 Grand Prix wins, and a sprint victory later, Marquez reminded everyone, it's not the bike, it's me. Fast forward to 2025, he's now in red. Not red like Honda's memory, but Ducati red. The seat Jorge Martin was denied, the one Pecco Bagnaia made famous, now worn by Marquez and instantly reshaped. Saturday killer, 6-6 sprint races used to be his weak point. Qualifying, unstable. Short distance aggression, inconsistent. But in 2025, Marc Márquez is Mr. Saturday. 6 sprint races, 6 wins, perfect, poles, launches, control. He's owned every one. And it's not just winning, it's dominance with a smile. At Le Mans, he led up on the final lap and still beat Alex Marquez by half a second. In France, he passed Fabio Quartararo after the Frenchman lit up the crowd with a storming first lap. Quartararo, riding the Yamaha that had just returned to podium form in Jerez, tried to hold the lead, but Marc hunted him down like a machine. From lap 2, the gap began to shrink. By lap 6, the move was made. By the checkered flag, Marquez made it look inevitable, and he wasn't even pushing full gas. Grand Prix days, 3 wins, 2 losses, 1 statement. Marc isn't just about Saturdays, he's a Sunday executioner. The sprint score may be perfect, but Sundays are where championships are forged. He's won 3 Grands Prix this season. Only 2 men have beaten him, and both times the mirror cracked. At Coda, it was over-aggression. At Jerez, a rare slip, self-inflicted wounds. But in Le Mans, it was something else. Johann Zarco, on a wet Sunday, used tire strategy, patience, and calm chaos to hold off the charging red machine. Marc finished second. No complaints, no excuses. Only respect. That's evolution. The Marquez of old would have pushed until he crashed. The Marquez of now knows the game. You take 20 points, you move on, and you win the war. 22 points clear. The title fight shifts as we head towards Silverstone. Marquez holds a 22-point lead in the championship. Not over Pecco Bagnaia, not over Jorge Martin, but over his own brother, Alex Marquez. Gresini's wild card, relentless, calculated, smooth. While the factory riders fight headlines, Alex fights lap times. A dark horse in red, and behind him, Pecco's struggling. Multiple DNFs, inconsistent qualifying, mistakes that weren't there in his title-winning seasons. Pecco's magic seems drained. And when your teammate is Marc Márquez, that pressure becomes suffocating. The paddock knows it. You can hear it in the whispers. Pecco's throne is wobbling, and Marc didn't even ask for it. He just showed up, turned the ignition, and became the center of gravity. Jorge Martin, the missing champ. Let's not forget the reigning champion, Jorge Martin, the man who took the 2024 crown with Pramac Ducati and stormed the season with brilliance. Now, he's with Aprilia, and the timing has betrayed him, and he is looking to bite them back with an early exit. Injuries, setbacks, invisible races, and his mentality is damaging his reputation too. He's not in the fight. At least, he will not be this year, and the coming years are in a doubtful state. The seat he craved, now controlled by the man Ducati chose instead of him. And that man is winning everything. It's a brutal irony. The Martinator is watching from the sidelines. He knows he made a mistake, but the warrior should rise. Instead, he chose to run. And the warrior who once watched from the shadows is now rewriting the legacy. Psychological warfare MotoGP isn't just apexes and throttle. It's mind games. And right now, Marquez is in everyone's head. During his Gresini days, riders mocked him, dismissed him, called him a ghost of his former self. Now they watch the screens after each session. His data is gold. His corner speeds are studied like prophecy. Even Quartararo, after finishing on pole in Jerez, had to admit he saw the red shadow coming. When Marc arrives in your mirrors, you know what comes next. It's not a question of if, only when. Evolution of a legend. Let's make one thing clear. Marc Márquez isn't just winning. He's evolving again. His sprint speed is sharpened. His qualifying is deadly. His tire conservation is calculated. He's not crashing for glory. He's managing championships. He's building something here. This isn't just 2025. This is the start of a second empire. The Honda empire ended in 2019. This Ducati chapter could be longer, could be more brutal, because Marc Márquez isn't carrying the bike anymore. The bike is carrying him to history. Silverstone, the next battlefield. And now we look ahead. Silverstone, high-speed corners, unforgiving grip, English weather. It's a circuit that doesn't allow bluffing. And Marc Márquez heads there with all the momentum. Alex Marquez, hungry to take back the spotlight. Pecco, desperate to silence the critics. Fabio, rising again with Yamaha pride. And somewhere, Jorge Martin will try to rise from the ashes. But the target? It's clear. Number 93, the red Ducati. The man who refused to fade. I feel fast inside the Marquez mindset. Marc spoke clearly after his recent sprint win. I feel fast. The thing is, I made 2 mistakes. That's all. He doesn't say it with arrogance. He says it with awareness. And that's what makes him scary now. He's still the same aggressive animal on the bike, but his awareness, his humility, has never been sharper. He knows when to push, when to back off, when to collect points, and when to send a message. Right now, he's sending one every weekend. The numbers tell the story. Let's not forget the cold facts. 6 sprint wins out of 6, 3 GP wins, 2 self-caused DNFs, 10 sprint GP podiums already, 22-point championship lead. And we're not even halfway through the season. He's not riding at 100%. That's the part that stings everyone else. If this is Marc Márquez pacing himself, what happens when he lets it all go?